Jackson Radio Show.
With respect to the rest of the world, I would say that particularly for women, you're absolutely right. They will bear the brunt of looking for the food, looking for the firewood, looking for the place to migrate to when all of the grass is finally gone as the desertification moves south and you have to keep moving your livestock, or your crops are no longer growing, they're burning up in the intense heat that we're now seeing reported across North Africa into the Middle East and into India. So yes, women once again will be the primarily burdened with the problems of climate change.
Man, it's bad. It's bad for women. It don't get any better. Welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. 844-551-8255. Hey, if you happen to be a woman and if you look, believe it or don't believe it, I'd be curious. I'd like to hear from the ladies. Okay. Are you concerned about the deserts? She called it the desertification. I'm not lying. She don't even look at me like that. She said desertification. I've listened to that clip now 3 or 4 times, and I finally went, what did she say? Desertification. And it comes up with little red squiggly lines underneath it if you put it on Word. So I don't think it's a real word. Desertification. That's what she said. Play it back.
Desertification moves south.
Desertification. The desertification moves south. Boy, here's the deal. Women, you bear the brunt. You're going to be looking for the new lands. You're going to be looking for the new streams and all that. You're going to be packing up the childrens and the goats and the other livestock. And it's going to be on you. Yeah. And it was, as Hillary was describing this, I said this the other day when I first heard this clip, I said, I can just imagine Hillary getting all this stuff together. And Chelsea and her husband are off somewhere, and she's got the grandbaby, and Hillary's got the grandbaby hanging off of her breast, breastfeeding, or trying to. Baby's down at her hip, if you know what I mean. And she's rounding up the livestock, and Bill's over there talking to one of the herdsmen, while the women are working. Bill's over there with his pole in the water. I'll let you figure that one out. And, he's talking to herdsmen or whatever. And Hillary's got all this stuff going. And she's mad, because Secret Service ain't helping. As the desertification occurs in New York. I'm just trying to picture Hillary Clinton packing up Chappaqua, moving whatever animals that she and Bill have. Oh, man, that's just too funny. What a bleak picture Hillary Clinton paints of women. And I love that crops burning up in the intense heat, reported across North Africa, the Middle East, and India. In other words, the intense heat of the desert. Here's what I'll make you bet. I'll make you a bet. If the United States took over the Middle East and the Middle East got the United States, the Middle East would become a destination spot for the entire world. It would be amazing. It would thrive. I said the same thing about Africa. Give the United States Africa. Give Africans the United States. Nobody would want to visit the United States. Mexico would be mad as heck. Canada would be going, who cut this deal? Because we could turn it into something. If the freaking Middle Easterners were to stop fighting and practicing that stupid religion of theirs and decided, you know what, we're going to put our efforts together. We're going to build a prideful economy and make the Middle East first again, whatever, then they would have a beautiful place to live. If they took the Trumpian approach, it would be amazing. People would come visit. We would have good, relationships together. We would trade and yada, yada. It would be good. They won't do it. They prefer the desertification. But it's funny to hear Hillary talking about all this burning up in the intense heat of the desert. Hillary, hey, history lesson, geography lesson. It's the desert. And you know what? If they were smart, they'd say, well, let's figure out how to tap into underground aquifers. Some of the desert lands, believe it or not, are close enough to oceans where they could build desalination plants and take the salt out of the water. They could irrigate. Some of them are close to river systems like the Nile. It's right there. It runs right through Egypt. It runs a long way. It's one of the largest river systems. I'll get it out. River systems in the world. Do it. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. I look at Arizona. It's a desert. LA, it's a desert. Desert destination spots. Palm Desert. What's the other one? Desert Palm, whatever. They're desert places, but people go all the time here in America. They fly out to go to Phoenix. They love to be there. They love LA. I mean, other than the smog, what's Hillary talking about? And then this idea that women are going to bear the brunt of global climate change. How so? Look, this is this woe is me message that Hillary Clinton can't get away from. Men versus women. It's funny. Biden talks about the idea that we're the separators. We're the people that divide. Look, I say to women, come join the rest of the human race. Don't lead with your genitalia. How about you just lead with how good you are at something? I never forget Sandra Long, one of my engineering class members. One of the smartest women I've ever seen in my life. I remember watching Sandy design computer programs and do things, and I would marvel at her. I didn't think of her as she's a smart chick. I just thought, wow, what a great engineer she's going to be. It turns out she was a woman, which was unusual in engineering and computer science, but it was just a marvel to watch her work. And I think about her to this day. Brilliant girl. And she didn't lead with sexuality. She led with, hey, we got a program to work on. Anybody want to be on my team? I do, Sandy. I'll be on your team. I'd work with her and go, this girl knows what she's doing, man. You knew if Sandy was on your team, you had a worker. You had somebody that was capable of rolling up her sleeves. She could put in the same amount of work, actually more, than most of the people you were going to pick. Yes, Sandy, on my team. You want to? Hey, great. Okay, good. Whew. Glad she's on my team. That was how I felt every single time. And there were good guys that were in the class, but boy, if I could get Sandy on my team, it had nothing to do with I didn't go, well, I'd like to get Sandy, but Bob over here, he's a guy. What's he going to think? It was no. Soon as the professor says, you guys can work together. Sandy, you got anybody? You want to work? Yeah. Okay, cool. We're together. Okay, great. Yeah. Half the time I was like, you sure you want me? You know what I mean? That's a good feeling for her, and she knows it. I've said it to her many times since we've seen each other after college. Back in a bit.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.